Okay guys, welcome back to another video on Assetto Corsa on the PC version, driving the Porsche 2017 RSR around Spa for a setup video. You can see we've got the conditions set up to be pretty much as fast as you can come across on the game, maybe a few temps off. We tested it out, this setup that we're going to show you in a bit, in a few different conditions, including slightly warmer temperatures, sunny temperatures, and the car handled really well in all them different conditions. So we just basically wanted to see how close we could get to the RSR live time in world record, which is a 2 minutes 14.5. We got reasonably close. I think we could have if we would have stuck to it a bit more and done a few more laps and pushed it a bit harder, tweaked the setup very slightly, I think we could have got very close to taking the world record. But for this video I just wanted to give you guys a base setup, as I did do a stream a while ago with this car and I did promise I'd get the setup done eventually. I kind of forgot about that, but I thought I'd best get back to it and get that setup done for you guys. And it handles really well in online conditions with different types of grip levels and temperatures. It just needs very simple changes to the setup, like changing the compound of the tyre that you were using from maybe soft tyres from super soft tyres, etc., and medium tyres. Just depends on the conditions you run in, what tyres you're going to run. Obviously for conditions like this, the track was at around 16 degrees and it was overcast, so you can get away with running the super soft tyre in these conditions and obviously get as close to the world record as you can, which is what we try to do. Another thing that I'm not too sure about with the RSR timings is if a lobby allows you to run ABS with a car like this, would that time show up on the leaderboard? Because ABS with this car could be worth at least around 3 or 4 temps, so I don't know if that would show up on the RSR leaderboards, if it'll allow it, if it has to be factory settings or not. I don't know how they work fully, but if any of you guys can let me know, just that would be interesting to see, because we're obviously running this with factory, so with no ABS. Anyway, we're going to go into the Hotlap now and go through a quick track guide for yourself. So starting the lap, we're going to go as wide as we can from the last corner and then attack the straight as hard as we can. We've got traction control on level 11 at this point because we're running the weakest setting just for the last corner and first corner, braking around the 100-yard ball just before, going down into second gear, try and hit that apex nicely on the power as early as we can. We maybe took that a bit too tight, that corner, which maybe slightly got the back loose slightly, and then just as we come out the corner we took the traction control off and attacking a rouge now flat out with no traction control, over the curb on the left, skimming the curb on the right, and again over the curb at the top of the hill, flat out now in 6th gear. It won't show the traction control coming off because this is taken from the replay footage, so bear that in mind, but when I did the actual lap it was running no traction control now. So we're going to look for the curb on the left, braking just before that curb, going down into 3rd gear, trying to skim each part of the apex through this chicane and then getting the car back over to the left hand side for this right hander now in 3rd gear. This is where we extended the gear a bit just to give us a bit better run out that corner, into 4th gear, into 5th gear, and then back down to 2nd before that curb on the left. Be careful not to lock it up on this corner, it's very easily done. Staying in 2nd gear nice and tight through that tight right hander, into 3rd gear, then 4th gear, then back down to 3rd gear, and again try and hit the apex as well as you can. It's a hard corner to get into, but as long as you get it reasonably well done you should be okay through that corner. Then back down to 4th gear for this really fast left hander, and then just be patient before you put maximum throttle in so you don't run too far wide and also get some heat, and you don't want to build the heat up too much in that front right tyre. Then looking for the Kuno sign above our head, braking down into 3rd gear, again to stay nice and tight inside that curb, and again be patient on the throttle before you put maximum pressure down. Now we were a little bit too keen to put that throttle down there, maybe lost the temp for 2 running wide. Then back down to 3rd gear for this right hander, slightly using some of the curb on the left and then chucking it into the fast right hander now in 4th gear, no lifting, pretty much done that perfectly. Didn't get on the curb as the curb can lose the back end, we just got as close as we could pretty much get. Now going into 6th gear, we're going to attack this really fast left hander flat out in 6th gear with traction control still off completely, and then just as we come out of the corner now we're going to put the traction control to the weakest setting at level 11 and braking just on that 3rd board there on the left, the white board, down in 2nd gear, then 1st gear, just be careful not to lock it up too much, then slowly feed the power and then flat on the throttle once you feel the grips there. Obviously traction control on the weakest setting, you can get really hard on the power once it's there, and then we go over the line for a 2 minutes 15.1, which is actually not a bad lap. It's about 6 tenths off the world record time, but like I say, I think we could, with slightly better conditions, maybe lowering the temperatures even more, or a bit more rubbering in. I'm not too sure how much more rubbering in you can do. We could get close to that world record, I think. So having a little look at the setup, you can see now we had the gearing on 172 for the basically hitting the top speed down the straight, and third gear was slightly extended, just getting a bit more pull out of some of them third gear corners. Brake pressures, tyre pressures 18 front and rear, gives a nice balance setting, and that's for the super soft setting. But bear in mind, we ran the same pressures with soft tyres when track temperature was at around 26 degrees. If the track temperature does go hotter still, you may need to up them slightly, but for the cloudy conditions, we ran 16 degrees ambient and it was cloudy, so that was when you use super soft tyres. But bear in mind, you will need to up them, change to the soft tyre for slightly warmer temperatures. Traction control level 11, but obviously we adjusted that through the lap like I explained. Aerodynamics 2 on the front, 6 on the rear, gives a nice balance through them corners. Still gives you a reasonably good top speed, approaching nearly 170 miles an hour on the back straight. And obviously it gives you good cornering ability through the corners. So this car's very well, handles really well anyway. So you can get away with running quite low cambers like we did there, 2.7 and only 1.6 on the rear, and tow 115 on the rear, 6 on the front. It's 15 on the rear. We did try a little bit lower, but just found it was losing the back end a little bit too easy, so we went up to 15. Bumps, we lowered the rear bump down slightly to match the front bump, and also we adjusted the fast rebound on the front. With it a little bit lower, it was tending to pitch too much into some of them fast corners, and the back end was just losing the back end slightly in the braking zone for the really fast corners. So we adjusted that just to help ourselves out for the just so it didn't pitch too much into them corners, and it really did help the balance out, putting that to 6, and then the rear on also 6 or 7, I think it is there, sorry. And then going into the differential settings, on power 10%, that's how I run most of my setups, and then just use a bit of traction control and if you need to, and then I tend to run it off. It feels better through most of the lap. And then brake balance 64, and brake pressures 95. Obviously it doesn't have ABS, so I didn't want 100% brake pressures, as it does tend to lock up a little bit too easy. If you've got a brake mod, you might be able to run a little bit higher on that, but I haven't got a brake mod. I'm just running standard T3PA Pro pedals. Anti-roll bars 6 on the front, 3 on the rear, gives a nice balance. Ride height, so the stiffness, you can see there we did lower them down slightly on the front and rear, and the ride height was as low as we could pretty much get away with on this track. I did try, I think if you go down to 9 on the ride height on the front, or 8 I think it is, it will invalidate the setup, so we just got it as low as we can pretty much run it without it bottoming out. We tried to play with the travel range a bit more with this setup. I was obviously maxing them out quite a lot, but I've lowered them down. It seems to give a bit better handling car now, and you can get away with it with this car, especially as it handles curbs quite well. Obviously with that extra downforce with the rear diffuser, you can actually get away with running quite a low setup. So have a little look now at the inner race. You can see there, this was a 7-lap race. We won by 21 seconds. Fastest lap was our last lap because we decided to push a bit harder, but the tyres were starting to fade a bit, and we went over line on 16.3 with the soft tyres. That's not the super soft tyres. Qualifying, I think we hit a 2 minutes 15.7, and that was with track temperatures at 26 degrees, and it was sunny. I think it was 19 or 20 degrees ambient and 26 degrees track temperatures, so it does perform really well, and you just need to make simple adjustments to tyre pressures, etc. A lot of that's just trial and error in different conditions. You know, if it's got a practice session or qualifying session, if you feel the car's getting a bit loose, or you just watch that tyre temperatures with the tyre delta, just keep an eye on that and then adjust the tyre pressures accordingly. I'll leave you guys now with the first lap from the online test I did. You can see how easily we pulled away from a full grip. It wasn't a small grid, it was I think it was 24 cars, all 24 cars in this race, and it performed really well. Some reasonably fast drivers in the race, they were doing okay times, but I think with this setup, with this Porsche, we were gone. As you can see there from the finishing results, 21 seconds in the lead. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe for more of these videos in the future. Thanks again for watching.